Car Ride Conversations.
As the Democratic and the Republican Party are the two by far largest beneficiaries of lobbying.
True. It's
What's
not
up?
even close.
Yeah, it's not even close. So for those of our viewers that don't know what lobbying is basically when a company or a corporation kind of sponsors a party and gives them a lot of money for them to make advertisements, for them to make election campaigns.
Yeah,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
And lobbying has become a contentious issue because there's so little representation for other parties, and certain corporations can have so much political power because they put in so much money into these campaigns where they can, in a sense, almost control them to push their own certain narratives. So one of the things that I was kind of questioning is, what if we completely got rid of lobbying and just gave each campaign the same amount of money? So what they used to do was they used to not have lobbies, and they used to just give the one campaign $1 million and the other campaign $1 million. So if we were able to somehow, because I don't think it's very realistic at all with the powers that corporations have in this country today, if we were able to somehow just equally fund every political party, do you think that would in some way kind of help to get more than two started, or do you think that that's just kind of like a pipe dream?
For some reason, I see there's a fault in that. I don't know why, but I see that there's a fault in that. I couldn't really explain to you why, but I feel like it's good to have a bit of competition. Mm-hmm. I feel like it is.
That's an argument that many Americans support and use, especially during the Cold War when our enemies were communists, and that really honestly sounds like somewhat of a communist ideal.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
Exactly. Definitely.
I feel the same way too, because it's nice to have competition, because there's a generational difference also, not just on the right side, but on, the left side. Older Democrats, the new age liberals don't like some of these old school sort of politicians.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like them at all. And that's another problem that's with the two parties, is that generational gap, those old time politics, it doesn't work. Politics is an evolving thing. You're going to have to pass the torch. You're going to have a culture change. It's just, it's like with music today. Will our kids think guys like, Chris Brown or Post Malone are shitty artists because, we listened to them when we were kids, but they don't listen to them now? It's sort of like that in a way. What's going to happen in the future as the generational gap gets bigger and bigger?
That's true. Know? So who's going to become the Beatles? Who are we going to listen to when we're 70 and be like, back in my day, I loved it.
Right. I want to go back to why is it that the third party isn't, or the multi-party isn't really doing well?
Yeah.
I think it's due to the fact that the policies that the third party are pushing is policies that nobody seems to care about the time being, due to the fact that all we care about as Americans is I want to make it to the top. Meaning, why would I care about something that doesn't benefit me? I just want to know what next politician is going to give me the right amount of money I need. Mm-hmm. And it's just if you're pushing so far away from why should I care about this? Because why would I care? Well, honestly, why would I care about that one day the earth is going to overheat when I'm just going to live for right now and I just need my money right now?
Right.
That's the idea that we have.
So my question to you, Genesis, is this, because I know in school you're studying psychology and anthropology and, those kinds of interesting human fields. What do you think the cultural implications are of kind of what Edwynn was saying? I think he was kind of hinting at it, is that I think that we would need a very monumental paradigm shift in the culture of this country before anything can really drastically change. So as someone views it through the lens of like studying humans and cultures and all that kind of stuff. What are your thoughts on culture in America and politics and all that?
Well, specifically to talk about third party stuff, I was actually thinking that, like, honestly, I would be so bold as to make the argument that the only reason America only has a two-party system right now is, I'm going to use the term lack of faith, and I'm going to use it specifically in this sense, that I think if we could guarantee everybody that their vote for a third-party candidate would count, they would vote third party. But the reason that most Americans don't is because they do believe, I'm going to be one of the minorities who votes for this. It's a wasted vote. It's just a symbolic gesture that goes into the air and disappears. If we could guarantee them that it is possible for a third-party candidate to win, if we could just make people believe that, change nothing else, I think there are enough young people who are sick of the two-party system, who don't like either candidate, who want more options, and who would definitely vote third party if they only had evidence-grounded faith that this vote would matter. That's my stand.
I agree. I also believe that it's like, I want to say it's also due to the fact that it's not, the Liberal Party is now the Democratic Party, if you ask me. That's the Liberal Party is the new Democratic Party, if you ask me. But I think it's just like so many young people. I feel like politician is still ran by the older generation, where it's not ran. It's not the. Imagine how different things would be if we let people underage vote. Imagine for a split second,
Right?
Like things would be so much different, and we made it cool to vote. I like it now. Like I'm watching YouTube videos, and we got our favorite artists telling us to go out and vote. Like I think it's just like, I think we're pushing towards it, but we're just not there yet. Like we're not getting that multi-party just yet. I feel like it's something that's very possible in coming years, but I think there's a lack of swagger there in the political party.
Yeah, I
I
would.
agree. There's just no appeal to the younger people, the younger audiences who are going to statistically dominate the votes in the next coming years, because the older generation is simply going to,
Die.
pass away. Yeah, exactly. There has to be, like I said earlier, you have to pass the torch eventually to
Right.
the crowd. That's basically, and we're at that point where, it's time.
I think that there are certain psychological factors that go into it, and I think that Edwynn was kind of inadvertently giving me a great example as to why I think this point is America. A lot of people in America are selfish. A lot of people in the world are selfish.
Correct.
When Edwynn was saying, why should I care if the world is burning in however many years? If I'm just going to live my life, I need to get my money. A lot of people in the United States think that way. A lot of people in the world think that way. And I think in regards to a multi-party system, people are more united against a common enemy than they are friends.
Yep.
Or what I'm saying is people are more motivated by fear and by negativity than they are by positivity. And that's how Trump won, is he made a common enemy and he united people against that common enemy. And that common enemy was like super leftist, liberal people. And a lot of people really find them annoying. And that, like I said, a lot of people vote out of spite, and a lot of people do things out of spite in this country, even if it doesn't specifically align with their political ideals. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Car Ride Conversations, the Everything Show, aka CRC. Follow us on Instagram at CRC__official, and subscribe to the YouTube channel to never miss out on another episode. Thanks, guys. Peace.